Hey man. The moment a woman realizes she's truly lost you is the moment the mask begins to crack. As long as she believes she still holds your attention, your emotions, your validation, your presence, she plays the game. The power game. She can ignore you, pull away, test your patience, because she still thinks you'll stay. She believes that no matter what she does, you'll be there waiting at the door, hoping she'll come around, but the instant that belief fades, when she feels your silence isn't temporary, when your indifference becomes real, something shifts inside her. Suddenly, the same woman who once dismissed your messages starts watching your stories, the one who used to take hours to reply begins reacting instantly, the same lips that said, "I don't care," now whisper, "Where did you go?" Because you see, women don't fear losing a man who chases, they fear losing a man who stops, not the man who argues, but the man who no longer explains, not the man who texts, but the one who vanishes, not the man who's angry, but the one who's gone cold. There's power in detachment, a quiet strength in walking away without words, when she realizes your energy is no longer hers to manipulate, that her validation no longer fuels you. She panics, she starts remembering the things she ignored, the way you looked at her when you still cared, the small gestures she once took for granted, the patience she thought was weakness, and now, she starts craving what she once disrespected, but by the time she awakens to it, it's already too late, because when a man truly lets go, it's not dramatic, it's silent, it's calm, it's permanent, no arguments, no closure, no need to prove a point. Just peace, the kind that comes when you finally accepted that love should never be begged for, when you finally stop chasing, something unexpected happens, the world feels lighter. The silence, once painful, starts to feel like peace, and in that stillness, you realize you were never afraid of losing her, you were afraid of losing yourself. You see, love isn't supposed to drain you. It's supposed to inspire you, lift you, help you grow, but when you're constantly trying to prove your worth to someone who doesn't see it, you slowly disappear, piece by piece. Smile by smile, you start shrinking to fit her comfort zone, you hold back your truth to avoid her anger, you walk on eggshells to protect her ego. And one day, you wake up and realize, the man in the mirror isn't you anymore. That's when something powerful shifts inside, you stop needing her attention, you stop trying to be understood. You stop fighting for a place in someone's heart that's already made up its mind, and when that happens, your silence becomes louder than any argument. It echoes in her mind at night. It haunts her in the moments she once felt in control, because now, she's the one wondering, what happened? Why doesn't he care anymore? But what she doesn't understand is this detachment isn't about hate. It's about clarity. It's not anger that keeps you quiet, it's wisdom. You finally see things for what they are, not for what you hoped they would be. She used to test your patience, thinking you'd never leave, now she tests your absence, hoping you'll return, and in that reversal, the balance shifts completely. She feels what you once felt: uncertainty, longing, confusion, but you're no longer playing, because this time, you're not silent to manipulate. You're silent because you've outgrown the noise. You've stopped trying to convince someone of your value. And that's when your energy changes. When you no longer seek validation, you become the validation. You start walking differently, speaking differently, living differently, and suddenly, the man who once begged to be seen becomes impossible to ignore. Eventually the realization hits her. Not all at once but slowly. In quiet moments when she scrolls through old messages. In songs that once meant nothing. In the stillness of nights when no one else is there to distract her. That's when the truth sinks in. She wasn't bored. She was ungrateful, she didn't need space. She needed maturity, and she didn't lose you because you stopped caring. She lost you because you finally started caring about yourself. Now she replays the moments she thought didn't matter, the way you used to look at her when she spoke, the way you'd remember the smallest details about her life, the effort, the patience, the loyalty, things she once brushed off as bare minimum, but now, every man she meets feels like a shadow of what she once had. No one texts her with the same warmth. No one listens with the same intention. No one stays when things get difficult, because the truth is she taught you how to stop chasing, but you taught her what real presence feels like, and now, she's haunted by that memory, the memory of a man who loved without limits and who, when he finally walked away, did so without hate. You see, that's what she never understood. Real strength doesn't come from anger. It comes from peace. You didn't slam the door. You didn't beg for closure, you simply left calmly, quietly, with dignity, and that silence screams louder than anything you could have said. It echoes through every what if that crosses her mind, that it lingers in every moment she sees your name and wonders if you still think of her, but by then, you've already moved beyond that need, because healing doesn't come from revenge, it comes from release. When you finally let go, truly let go, something incredible happens. You don't wake up missing her anymore, you wake up free from the anxiety of unanswered messages. Free from the weight of trying to be enough, free from the illusion that love means suffering. You stop searching for closure, because you realize closure isn't something they give you. It's something you create when you accept the truth. She was a chapter, not the whole story, and the beautiful thing about pain is it refines you. It breaks you open just enough to rebuild you stronger. You learn to enjoy your own company again, you rediscover your focus, your purpose, your ambition, you start pouring energy into things that give back your growth, your goals, your peace. You start dressing better, walking taller, thinking clearer, and without even realizing it, you become the man you once tried to prove you were. That's when life starts giving back, opportunities appear. New people enter, peace replaces chaos, and suddenly, you understand why it never worked before, because you were never meant to shrink yourself to fit someone else's story. The version of you that loved her no longer exists. He's gone. In his place stands a man who knows his worth, who values his energy, who doesn't chase, he attracts, and maybe one day, she'll see you again, maybe she'll catch a glimpse of you laughing, thriving, unbothered, and in that moment, she'll feel it deep inside that she didn't lose you because you were hard to love, she lost you because you finally realized how easy you were to lose. So you smile, not out of bitterness, but out of peace, because now you understand letting go wasn't the end of love. It was the beginning of self-respect, and that, my friend, is the moment a man is reborn. You stop replaying the pain, you stop explaining yourself. You stop expecting people to meet you where you met them, and in doing so, you rise, not to prove her wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were always more than what her love allowed you to be. That's when your energy shifts for good. You no longer want her attention, you crave peace, you no longer seek her validation, you respect your own worth, and that's the kind of man no one forgets.